On to the other big international story. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is all set to visit China from the 4th of June to the 8th of June. The visit aims to boost the multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. It was launched a decade ago and several projects related to energy infrastructure had been already completed. Shehbaz Sharif also set up a meeting to prepare an action plan to encourage Chinese companies to set up industries in Pakistan. Joining us now to discuss this is Ananth Krishnan, director at The Hindu. Ananth has spent a lot of time reporting in China. Ananth, thank you very much for joining us. Give us a sense of the significance of this visit, the timing for Pakistan and China.
Parikshit, as you rightly framed it, I think it's been said by both sides that it's a visit looking at the future of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC, and what Pakistan has been billing as an ambitious phase 2 for CPEC. But I think below the surface, Parikshit, I think it's more about firefighting various issues that have crept into the China-Pakistan relationship rather than a visit that's going to reflect the ambitions of the relationship. I think one big issue for the Chinese side is security of Chinese workers in Pakistan and of Chinese projects in Pakistan. It's been something that's flagged very recently when the Pakistani foreign minister was in Beijing. I think they're very unhappy with the level of security, which has been a big obstacle for Chinese companies there. Recently, this year, there was a bomb attack, a suicide bomb attack at one of the CPEC projects, a hydropower project, and 5 Chinese were killed in this attack, and 1 Pakistani as well. So that's been a big issue for the Chinese side. As for the Pakistani side, Parikshit, a number of Chinese loans are maturing. I think that's something that's a huge concern for the Shehbaz Sharif government, especially when the Pakistani economy is in such a bad shape. They've been looking for bailouts, and I think they're trying to strike a deal to defer some of the payments they owe to China. So I think there are a lot of issues below the surface that both sides will be looking to sort out.
Right. I'd also like to ask you now, in terms of the death of Chinese engineers in those suicide bomb attacks, do you get a sense that China is now likely to put more conditions to further loans to Pakistan for its infrastructure projects?
I think the sense I have is they're going to go slow on any new projects. I think it's more about securing what they already have. I think that the fact that it's been raised at a very high level by the Chinese side, in fact, Chinese President Xi Jinping specifically mentioned this issue of worker safety when the Pakistani Prime Minister visited in November 2022. And if you look at how China's diplomacy works, it's only these issues, when they're raised at the level of the president, it shows that they're very, very concerned about them. Especially because this particular question of workers' safety in Pakistan has been going on for many years now, and they haven't really seen an improvement, and attacks have been recurring. So I think when this issue keeps cropping up, it's highly unlikely that China is going to go deeper into Pakistan, open up new projects there. I think they're more concerned about securing current ones. And I think if you also look at domestic factors in China right now, Parikshit, which you've been following in terms of the Chinese economy, I think that the days of Chinese economic largesse in Pakistan are over.
Right. Also, when you're having elections in India, that is the day he's likely to, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is likely to reach Beijing. How do you think the Indian elections may figure in the conversations? And even if they don't, how do both the countries view view India right now?
I think what's been clear, Parikshit, is regardless of the economic troubles and economic limitations in the China-Pakistan relationship, it's been very clear, and I think this is something India has noticed as well, that strategically, militarily, we've seen a very clear deepening in China-Pakistan ties. I think that's been very, very clear if you look at the kind of military engagement that's been going on, if you look at the exercises that have been happening between China and Pakistan. I think even if you look at, for example, recent reports that we've seen this week of China's support to Pakistan in terms of its military infrastructure and POK, I think these things are very clear. They point in one direction, that the strategic relationship is deepening. And I think it's part of a broader trend you've seen with the Xi Jinping government, where he's really gone all in with China's allies. You've seen that in the China-Russia relationship, and I think you're seeing that in the China-Pakistan relationship as well. And as far as India is concerned, and the new government that comes to power on June 4th, I think the China-Pakistan strategic relationship is going to be one of the pressing issues for India to tackle. That's been the case in the last 5 years, and I think that is going to be the case in the next 5 years as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Ananth Krishnan, for joining us on the program, giving us a very important perspective on Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's visit to China for 4 days. He will be meeting President Xi Jinping as well. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Global Eye. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to CNBC TV 18 for more updates.